Mustaches and bowling are forever linked in pop culture, but how do they impact performance? Tonight, we investigate the career of the legendary Pete Weber. There is no doubt Peter David Weber is one of the greatest bowlers in the history of the sport. With 37 career PBA Tour victories and 10 major titles, Weber occupies a place in the pantheon of bowling legends. But an interesting thing happened back in 2009 when a freak grooming accident led to the kegling icon shaving his signature mustache.
The reason I shaved my mustache is I was in Japan for the storm fair that we do every year. And my interpreter, Keiko, who has been my interpreter just about every year that I've ever been there for storm fair, said something, and the next day, she said something about my mustache. And the next day, I was trimming it, and I kind of trimmed it a little too close, and kind of shaved a little bit of it off. So I just shaved the rest of it off.
Prior to shaving that season, Pete had only finished among the top 10 once in 8 tournaments. But after that fateful day with the razor, he went on a torrid hot streak, finishing in the top 10 in 5 of the remaining 7 tournaments, including his first win in 3 seasons in the Lumber Liquidators Marathon Open.
He is a bad man today.
After that win, Weber went on an unprecedented tear even for his lofty career, winning 2 more major titles among 3 individual victories, increasing his average tournament earnings by $1,000 per event, and putting himself in contention to win PBA Player of the Year honors for the first time in his illustrious career at the age of 51. Many of the sports experts are beginning to make the connection between Weber's bare upper lip and his overflowing trophy case.
I don't think I've ever seen him better. I think he's actually in a better frame of mind now without the mustache. So maybe that's the reason he's bowling better.
Well, it means less resistance for him going to the line. So he's able to, it accentuates that beautiful delivery, the beautiful, powerful delivery he has. So if he can get his head through the air, getting to the line, the results will show for themselves.
That's something I would have never known. But, then maybe I cut the aerodynamics down a little bit.
But some skeptics doubt the influence the jettisoned follicles have actually had on Weber's turnaround in performance.
Dave Wadka, what effect do you think mustaches have on bowling performance?
Absolutely nothing.
What if I were to tell you that Pete Weber, arguably the greatest bowler of all time, if you take his stats on average, is actually a better bowler after he shaved his mustache?
I think you have too much time on your hands to find that out.
Probably the most balanced perspective comes from PBA Tour Commissioner Tom Clark, who must now weigh the costs of instituting mustache performance-enhancing restrictions into the sport.
Well, it's an interesting question because I think during the player's approach, depending on the air and the air quality and what city you're in and what the weather is like outside and the air conditioning is inside, the speed of the player on the approach, whether it's a 3, 4, 5, or even more step delivery, can be impacted by any extra hair. So having a few hairs at the mustache level, I think through history, a lot of people have said, Walter Ray Williams has a mustache, maybe I should have a mustache. And I could see why they would do that. But then you think, well, Earl Anthony never had a mustache, and he did well. So I think that it's worked both ways, and you can't say if I grow a mustache, I'll be a better bowler. But at the same time, you can't think that you'll be worse. So it's really a personal preference.
Whether you want to believe the reason for Pete Weber's recent run of outstanding bowling is most attributable to facial hair, genetics, or just dumb luck, there is no doubt something has caused his performance to spike at a time when most bowlers are hanging up their dexters to pursue other interests like playing bad golf or shouting at the contestants on The Price is Right. Could it all be a coincidence? Clearly more research, perhaps into other such pre- and post-mustached bowlers as Parker Bone III, Del Ballard Jr., and Mike Durbin, needs to be done. But this is for sure. Not only is Pete Weber doing some of the best bowling of his life, he's also decreased the likelihood of being mistaken for an 80s era adult film star, or a policeman, or that really annoying uncle who always shows up to your family gatherings wearing the tight jean shorts. For Foul Line TBC, this is Jeff Goodger.